Hello and greetings and salutations everyone, it is I, Flip the Bacon, and today we're playing a game called Unearned Bounty. Today we're going to be playing with one of the creators here, and we're going to be playing with some other people as well, and just kind of a fun little rank, my free-for-all play, I guess? Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, so everyone knows who I am. I'm Flip the Bacon, obviously. As I introduce myself, would you mind introducing yourself for everyone on my YouTube channel?
Robert Dunlap. I'm one of the game developers on Unearned Bounty here at Extrokold Games.
That's cool. And it's what's the game company again? It's Extrokold?
Extrokold Games.
Extrokold Games, that's right. Cool. And then you said, oh, I read on this too, and people don't know, but this was start off as a senior project for you. Correct?
Yeah, as a so originally it was a class project of mine at UCSD called Broadsides. There's like a pirate ship combat game that I made back in 2011, and I went to go work for Microsoft after that. And I had talked with a friend of mine, Alex Fabresh, who was working at Rocket Watch Studios, that if the game was ever greenlit, that we would start up a studio and build this game. So it got greenlit like the next day after I told them that. And so, it was a sign. And so we started up our studio. We worked on a small shoot 'em up arcade game called Schmatto that we released on Steam in 2015. And then we've been working on Unearned Bounty sort of since 2016.
Wow, okay. That's pretty cool. And how much has the game changed, I imagine, since its original thing that you made?
Yeah, it's been. I mean, the thing is, we've been going through a process of playtesting, trying things out, and one of the things that we wanted to try out was adding in abilities. We changed the upgrade system. How we do like the map itself has changed quite a bit. And it's just been very iterative. We've been playtesting with our community for the most part every weekend, and sort of getting feedback and making changes accordingly.
Cool. And now, do you guys kind of have a set date you think you might be releasing this, or out of beta?
Yeah, I mean we're not even in early access yet. Right now, it's just sort of like a private community of people on our Discord. We're probably looking at the first quarter of 2018 for early access, and then sometime during later in 2018 for out of early access.
Cool.
And most of that is for right now. We're working on the next set of boats for the game. We have 16 designed, and so we're looking at doing a crowdfunding campaign to help us cover the art costs for adding in more of them.
That's going to be cool. And so you had the 16, and then are you having the same person design the boats for all your or all the art for the same game, I should say? Yeah,
it is. So we're working with two industry professionals, Richard Pence and James Garcia. That they both were former Sony, that they were there for quite a while. One's been in the industry for 19 years, and one for 13. They worked on Uncharted 3 and 4, Last of Us, Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 4, and many other games over the years. And so we've been working with them to add in the boats and do all the environment art. We've been sketching out the next map that we want to sort of add in. It's like a pirate graveyard. And then we've been doing all the concept art and prototyping the abilities for the next set of boats.
Cool. Sorry there, I lost track as I'm getting pummeled there.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So I saw that this won some Taco Bell award too, or something?
Oh yeah, Feed the Beta. Yeah, so Taco Bell, this is their second year doing it. And so it's kind of like a mentorship program. So they have Ken Levine, the lead game designer on BioShock, and Richard LaMarchand from Uncharted. 1 and 2, or 2, I think it was just 2, that they've sort of been there to provide some feedback and answer some questions. They did some talks. They brought in the folks from Tiny Build, Game Jolt, Jessica Chobot from Nerdist News,
Okay.
and Swifter, a popular Twitch streamer, to sort of do some Q&A with us as well.
That's pretty cool. So I'm assuming that's how you met your artist then, was through this kind of membership program? Right?
No, actually it was Sony's here with us here in San Diego, and so I met him at Richard Pintz. I met him at an IGDA San Diego meetup.
Okay.
So yeah, no, we started the project with him on board.
Oh, that's really cool. And when you say senior, are you referring to like high school or your college program?
College.
I forget. Okay, that's what I want to make sure.
Well played.
Yeah, no, and it was just actually when I met Richard Pintz, that we went through a couple different project ideas and stuff like that, and this was one that I said, oh yeah, we have this greenlit, and he's like, oh, I really want to do that, so he took the art direction to take the more stylistic, like it feel like a much closer to Legend of Zelda Wind Waker kind of style. Like, he's when he looked at it, he's like, yeah, I want to do if Nintendo did like a pirate ship game.
Yeah, I definitely get the Wind Waker feel because of the waves coming off of the ships. Definitely got that feeling there. Cool. So was there any other big influence games for you while making this?
I mean, for us, it's been like we play a lot of League of Legends. I played a lot of Halo growing up. So definitely League of Legends was on that side of things for adding in sort of like some PvE, the way that the ship upgrades kind of work.
Yeah, yeah.
It's kind of like a MOBA shooter in a way.
Yeah, I think I have seen. I won't say I don't like. I want to say I've seen some other games that were kind of similar to this, but I wasn't too sure. Not quite to this level. I think there was 1 or 2 out there on Steam, but this is definitely the funnest one I've seen out of these. Your ship slows down the more damage you take. I just realized that.
Set sail for battle.
You still there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, sorry.
Well played.
There we go. Get that back up there. Now, where are some good upgrades usually go with first? I'm assuming kind of like getting the cells in your hall probably seem to be important ones to get up first.
Sales are always pretty good. It makes it faster for you to get to places. Actually, primarily, it's really good for if you're fighting another player 1v1, because you have 2 sets of cannons on your ship, and upgrading your sails allows you to turn faster, so you can turn your ship to the other broadside, and then fire again while they're reloading. Like while each side is reloading, so you can fire, turn. But other than that, we've tried very hard to make sure that there's pros and cons of using all the different abilities or upgrades. So on the Brigand, the ship that you have, that you're using, the barrel bomb increases the strength of it by quite a bit, as well as the Brigand has a passive ability where you get gold for landing cannonball shots. So the amount of gold you get increases as well.
Oh no! Sorry, I ran into the island there. Now we're getting into it. All of us are here. Even though I'm not doing much here. be more of a nuisance, I think, in this battle than anything else.
Well played.
I need to learn to do the arcing shooting a little bit better in this.
Well played. Play that line, you scallywag.
And I got torched. That torch seems like it'd be a pretty good ability there.
Yeah, it can get you in a tight pickle if it gets like behind you. It can just follow you around and dealing damage. The barrel you can fire 360, so you can fire
that's
that
really
behind you as
cool.
well.
Did not know that. I thought you could only shoot from the front. And now it looks like everyone's going for the treasure area. Yeah, I can definitely see the influence of League on here now. You mentioned that these kind of like scenarios taking over a little area, like Baron.
Yep.
Get to
And similar, like, you know, for Halo, it was, you know, the King of the Hill kind of zone. You know, the big thing is that Baron and Dragon sort of, it's a forcing factor to bring people together to fight over something.
Now, if this one, is it whoever stays in there longest gets it at the end, or does it just nullify if everyone...
It's you have to stay in it for if it's contested, then no one's ticking, and you have to stay in it for 20 seconds. So you have to be the only person in it. And then the time continues, so I'm ticking in it.
Okay.
I think I have it.
Yeah, I need to work on some of these little ships and getting myself back up. So what else was I gonna ask here?
We'll be adding in a team mode later on as well.
That's what I was gonna ask as well. If you're gonna do team modes.
Yeah, we've been working on 4 teams of 3 mode. We'll have the traditional like 2 teams of 6 as well at some point.
That'd be pretty cool. So was there anything in particular that was really hard in development that just gave you a really hard time? I know I asked a couple developers there. There's always like one thing that was really a pain in the butt for them.
I mean, so there's a couple things that we're doing that most games don't. So one of them is we have a wrapping world. There's actually only one volcano in the map. All the volcanoes that as you look around, is the same volcano.
Oh, okay.
And so we had to do a lot of custom logic within Unity to build essentially an engine on top of it to handle like seamlessly transitioning, chunks, having the view distance. We have a lot of shaders with like the water and height and fog. It's all the little things that like go into building a game. This right now is running on an Amazon instance, like for the server. This is something that we've just been like doing over the past 2 weeks, like getting it actually running. But it's been a work in progress, like over many weeks. Has been like trying to get the server stuff finished. I think that we've been one of the only games on Amazon Game Lift using Unity. So that was like a challenge. We ran into some bugs that no one else ever had.
Yeah, I heard that's quite the problem with Unity, and then they just had to upgrade not too long ago.
Yep. Yeah, we've had a change. We've been keeping pretty consistent with Unity versions, but it wasn't on a Unity site. It was actually on a Amazon Game Lift. So I mean, it was just those little pieces that, like, as it adds together, it's like, yeah, what turns a project to take quite a while. It's all those like little things, a lot of game feel. There's still a lot of UI things we need to do for the main menu. But yeah, I mean, it's just been a work in progress, and been enjoying the ride.
Cool. So speaking of kind of like that kind of stuff, the AI. How's the AI? What are you using for this one?
So there's two things like AI. So there's the trade ships, which just are following a path, and then there's the bots that we played in the previous match. That's using our own custom like AI logic.
Okay.
Gary, the other programmer, he was in First Robotics for quite a while during high school, and so it's using some algorithms that they used during robotics to it's like a whisker kind of like method to basically it senses around itself whether there's like islands and other dangers, and sort of uses that to prioritize. We give them like sort of pseudo random personalities about how accurate they'll play or how aggressive, how much they like gold. So between matches, the AI will play differently.
Okay, that's pretty cool. It looks like I got best place. That's kind of a running joke with my group of friends here. Last place is best place. Cool. Are we gonna be playing some more here, or?
Yeah, you're welcome to play another match.
Oh yeah, this is fun. I gotta get this down. I mean, guys, I'm assuming you guys got a little more practice than I do, considering this is your own game.
Yeah.
Cool. So what are some other big plans you have going on for the game here?
That's the big thing, is just more boats, more maps, more modes. Yeah, I mean, that's been the ongoing process.
Cool. So when did you decide to green light this? I know we talked a little bit about that earlier.
Oh, it was so after we finished the student project, Greenlight actually just had started at the time. So that was 2012, 2011, sometime around then. That we put up sort of like the trailer and video. We have like the presentation. Alex Ferbrush is the speaker during it. So he was the one that convinced me to come back to the project. We put it up on Greenlight at the time, and then it was approved sometime around then.
That's really cool. I'm glad that got worked out really well for you guys. It's definitely, like I said, I like the feel of this. I think this will be a pretty fun game, for sure. I always like Pirates games and all that stuff, so this is nice. So, is there anything while we're waiting here that you would like to tell any more of my audience, by chance, about the game? I know you mentioned everyone can come in and free play it right now if they choose. I think, right? Sign up for you guys' Discord.
There's the Discord. You can sign up to play the game. We'll have a non-Steam version available as well on Game Jolt when we do the Fig campaign.
Okay. Cool. And now you guys are doing this 100% by yourselves, correct, for the most part?
Yep. Up to this point, it's all been ourselves, sort of putting things together, which is why, going through Fig is to, help us speed that up and put in more art resources to the project.
Cool. Now, which one of these ships are your favorite?
I like the Spitting Dragon. The Ghastly Crow is pretty good too. They all have their sort of pros and cons. The Iron Horns, it's really fun to hit someone with it. It's equivalent to an insta kill. But you have to be very careful with using it, and then it has a very long cooldown. So if you see someone using it, then you can sort of take advantage of that opportunity. You can also sort of protect yourself by for other players fighting against it. by being close to an island. Like the ship can't stop while it's dashing.
Okay.
So you can have it that they run into an island shortly afterwards and sort of suicide, which.
Oh, dude, the torch. Sorry, you're setting me on fire.
Yep.
It's hard to escape too. I'm gonna die.
I am.
Now, do all the ships run at the same speed, or is there any little differences between them?
Right now, they're all the same speed.
Okay.
We might have we'll have some ships later on that might be a little bit faster. But the brigand earns extra gold. The spitting dragon has like a flip. After you land a cannonball, it leaves a little bit of a dot damage over time, like fire effect. The iron horns is better at ramming, and Ghastly Crow, when it dies, like explodes into that poison gas.
Okay. And that's supposed to be like the ghost ship.
Yep.
Speaking of pirates, was like pirates like any movies? And what was some of the other
Yeah, I
influences
mean,
for this?
Pirates of the Caribbean and One Piece are definitely up there as far as that fantasy pirate environment. It's sort of like light fantasy, like it's a little bit of magic. It's all about like believability rather than like realism. And we'll be pushing that more in the next set of boats that we're doing.
Cool. Yeah, One Piece. Man, that's one of my favorites there. Forever going. I haven't done the creative dive before.
Or you said he was like halfway through, so.
Yeah. It's just crazy to think about. There we go. Getting some gold. Seems a little hard to get back once you get behind a little bit so far, but not too bad, I guess.
The start's a little slower as far as like finding a good spot to farm. The Spitting Dragon and Ghastly Crow are pretty good for farming NPC ships.
There we go. Getting some moolah. Now, have you thought about adding any other, like, since you got NPCs here and you're kind of League fans, have you thought about adding, like, mini-bosses to the game at all?
Yeah, we've wanted to add in, like, some sea monsters. They just need to be done really well. We'll be adding in 4 truces that you can sort of fight and capture in the next, and when we add in the team mode.
Cool, that'd be really neat. And have you ever thought about hazards at all? Like, having like water spouts or anything like that?
Yep. Yeah, we've thought about it, and we'll have it in some of the other maps.
Okay.
Sort of, yeah, as you said, like some storms and things that keep people on their toes. This is like the sunny Caribbean map. We might add in like with the volcano erupting, some hazards from that.
Me drunk mother shoots better.
Just needs to feel fair and something that like players can avoid.
Yeah, I get that too. That's like, well, I haven't played League in a long time, but yeah, that game could get unbalanced sometimes. So, or snowball, I should say. Not exactly unbalanced, but yeah, things can snowball out of control quickly.
Yep.
That's
I mean, in this match right now, we're playing with 4 players in a 8-player match. It's a little bit easier to. Part of it is everyone knows where the first place player is. So it's to their detriment to sort of be that, as well as the amount of infamy that you get is based on the difference between the players. So the first place player just can't go around like killing last place a bunch of times. Like, it doesn't really give you that many points or score. That what you really we want to encourage everyone to fight the first place player. Almost akin to I guess you were saying like influences of Munchkin, sort of being like one of them, where everyone sort of works together to topple whoever's in the lead. That was a good shot.
That was like across the map there.
Something like that, yeah. He just like landed all of the cannonballs and killed me.
How much?
You can actually fire across the map.
Can you?
Yeah, you can look for the cursor quite high and fire.
Okay. I'm just gonna go help myself to this loot here. I had someone left. I'm kind of being a scavenger. Oh, what? The NPCs will pick up gold?
They will.
Okay. Do they
You
keep it?
Yep, they keep it until you sink them.
Nice. Wow, that's quite the upgrade for me. Alright. Maybe I'll do a little bit better now against you guys.
Well played.
And then, so your other guys, he's not on the channel at all, right? It's just you right here talking?
Yeah.
Oh,
He's sitting next to me. So
okay.
he's trash talking me while we're on this call.
Well played. Play that line, you scallywag. Well played.
Oh no, here comes the fire.
Just throw the barrel on me.
I was trying, it was on cooldown. There we go. Thank you for the pity kill there. I'm sure.
I was on like one cannonball would kill me like for such a long time.
Oh man. So the way to get repaired is just kind of getting more gold, correct?
Yeah, shipwrecks. Upgrading your hull does give you a little bit of health as well.
Okay. And okay, that did not work out for me there.
Sail for battle.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm enjoying this a lot, by the way. Well, so when you use your V, or I guess you could say, does that cost money then?
It does.
Okay, I noticed that a little bit earlier.
Yeah, it's that ship. It's like 50 gold. The Iron Horns is like 100, and the other two they're always available. They just cost gold per second.
Hmm. Wow, someone's shooting at me and I don't see them. So what are some other games you're playing right now then? That's you.
Well played.
Oh man, the range on that's crazy.
Yeah, I have it fully upgraded at the moment.
There we go.
Curses.
Oh man, I gotta watch where I'm going. Okay. So did you always have arcing fire in this? Or was it a little bit different when you originally were creating?
Yeah. It was, we had the arcing fire. We didn't have that you could aim the distance.
Okay.
No
Original,
pray,
yeah.
no pay, lad.
For broadsides. It was just it was even more arcadey than this.
Okay.
Well played.
And so what was like the earliest stages of this? Like, why were you deciding when you were building this and all that?
So we started we started on Unearned Bounty January of 2016.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it was like prototyping, putting things together. I think we had like a multiplayer networking build after. I got you. We had a multiplayer version that we took to a small like LAN party at UCSD. It was like May of 2016, so it took us it wasn't that long to get like a prototype together, and it's just been iterating on the networking, sort of building a lot of the components that we needed. I think that we got the abilities first working probably around last September, and then between September and January we put in the Spinning Dragon, Ghastly Crow, and Horns. We got the bot sort of like working around that time frame as well. We finished up the map that we have today, like sort of like the Mayan ruins, the volcano. Like there's a lot of we've been very open with our community as we've been going through it, so there's a lot of old videos, a lot of really old videos, a lot of performance work we've put in. The game runs pretty well, even on an integrated graphics card. If you put it on low, we got it running on Xbox. So it's just been a lot of pieces coming together.
Cool. And have you ever took this to a game jam at all, I imagine? You kind of mentioned LAN parties.
I mean, we participate in game jams, but this is not particular. A lot of, I mean, for like some expos, we've taken to a couple of things. We went to the Power of Play up in Seattle. We won the Audience Choice Award during that, the Seattle Indie Game Competition.
That's really cool. And people had really digged it up there at Take It In.
Yeah, it was really fun. One of the guys, the judges there, was from Wargaming. He had worked on World of Warships, so we talked for a little bit as well. They had some people from Valve, Intel, and Microsoft. It was really cool what the Washington Interactive Network sort of does up there.
That's really cool. So yeah, was this project, did it meet your expectations? Like, is it like way high, or were you kind of like, have you always felt like it's exactly where you thought it would be? I guess I'm trying to reward that. Let's see. So
yeah, no, I mean, we've been working on a really ambitious project. I mean, for what we're putting together, right? It's an online multiplayer game, and we're not a big studio or anything like that. It's just a it's just a couple folks working on it. So for us to be able to be using all the tools and technologies that are out and available today, I think it's a testament to being able to be where we are after a year and 8 months or so.
Now, were you ever approached by any big companies at all?
No, not yet. We've just been working on what it is. We've talked to some smaller publishers, but it hasn't been anything that would work out for either of our interests.
Okay. Yeah, you mentioned Tiny Build earlier, so I know they're pretty good about picking up a lot of indie companies.
Yeah. I've talked with Luke on multiple occasions. They're really cool. They're just they're more into like single player experiences that work better on Twitch. So that's kind of like their forte.
Yeah, I get that feeling from them a lot too. So I don't know if they have any kind of multiplayer at all. No, not that I can think of. I worked with them a few times. Best place once again.
All right, well, GG. I think that that's the match for today. If you want to join us next weekend we'll be playing at the same time.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Any last words you'd like to send out, or any websites or shout-outs that you want to do?
I'll send you a link for the fake once that's up. And thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you very much. As I always say, folks, this is Flip the Bacon signing out here. As well, that's not exactly what I say. I say, flip that bacon. See you next time, and goodbye. Thank you again. This was Unearned Bounty by
Extrokold Games.
Huh?
Extrokold Games.
Extrokold Games. That's right. And we were playing with again before we say goodbye.
Robert,
your name? Robert. Okay. All right. Thanks you very much. It was fun playing with you. This should be up in the next day or two if you want to check it out. But always, folks, thank you again. Bye bye.